Welcome back to more Deep Space D6. I just finished our run with Athena where we got 1-2 punch comboed by solar winds and instantly killed. And now we're playing the AG8, which with this won't happen because this has a maximum of 10 hull. So at least we're not one hit for something that does 5 hull damage. And this ship kind of plays itself because this, at least this, it's what it sounds like. This is an automated war machine. And you use dice to sort of permanently lock them in to get ongoing effects like damage every turn or regenerating shields or hull every turn. There's a lot of important notes here. We start with a tactical and a science drone, which we'll see what that does in a bit. We can have more than one type of drone. At least as one drone is active, we don't lose, even if we're unable to gather crew. So the ship game would just keep on going without us at that point, which is an interesting thought. And also, to construct drones, we need a die to use as the drone and an engineer. And we'll see what all of that means in the future. But so some of these dice don't even have uses here. The science and the tactical don't. And we only need 2 scanners to get a new threat, but I think we won't be rolling as many dice, so that might still be sort of a similar speed as with the other ships. So the one thing I'm not too clear on is this is what our drones do. So if we have, so we start with a tactical and a science drone, which I put up here. And that means after step 3, which is after assigning crew to stations, our drones do these things listed here. So we are getting already 2 damage every turn, 2 external threats, and 2 science every turn. Now that to me means internal threats are going to be more dangerous, like if we need 2 scientists for a time warp or something like that, because then we have to first get our crew back or recall drones and so on, if we have 4 dice up here. And so this is sort of our benefits. But having a commander locked in here, you may re-roll any number of crew dice after step 2, which is after rolling and locking in scanners. Now that to me sounds any number is we can pick which ones and re-roll them. But on the back it says you may re-roll your crew any number of times, and to me that's different. Or maybe that's just because of my English, but I feel like re-roll any number of dice and re-roll your dice any number of times. To me, I interpret that as 2 different things, and I don't know what exactly is the way to play this. But I guess any number of times and both, any number and any number of times, maybe this is additional information. And so the risk you're running is just rolling more scanners and locking in threats. Yeah. So it sounds like we're going to be rolling a lot, basically, if we use that, if we do have a commander drone. Let's just try to play. I'm a bit confused as well, but I think I've gotten the gist. Sadly, the rulebook for this ship, the info only says reprogramming allows us to change the phase of any active drone. Recalling moves it to the return section, and a drone must be constructed using 2 crew dice, 1 engineer and 1 crew die to become the drone, which these 3 things are not things I had questions, and the questions I do have aren't really answered by the rulebook, but let's just try and play. So we start at 10 hull and 2 shields. That's the one thing about this game. The rulebook is pretty small, and I think I say in an earlier video I like it because it's clean, or the game is clear and concise. I was talking about the graphics there, like the whole iconography and so on. I do like that it's clear and concise. The rules are quite the opposite. There's a lot of very loose terms, starting with the thing about hull and damage and shields. Okay, so we start with friendly fire, which I guess means I don't know about these dice as what they count, but that's our drone gone, right? And our second threat we start with is a pandemic. Interesting. So 2 internal threats. I mixed up the deck, I swear. And that's that. Okay, let's just roll. A scanner. And now what do? Let's first return a unit from the infirmary. Let's not recall a drone. We couldn't reprogram, we can't really get a tactical, we can't reroll here. Let's use this medic to get rid of the pandemic. And so I either could reprogram this, but I think I'm just gonna put the commander in here, because then we have that reroll, and that does seem strong, I'm not too sure. Let's draw our next threat, an interceptor, roll the threat die, a 5, which takes us down to 1 shield. Okay, let's roll our crew and see here. So now we can re-roll any number of crew dice any number of times. So I guess I'll probably re-roll these 2. Interesting. I like seeing that. Let's use... do we re-roll further? I don't think so. Let's use these 2 to construct a tactical drone. And I'll just waste this. And now this was step 3, assigning crew to stations and missions, and now these things activate here. So we do 2 damage and we get back 2 shields. So every turn we're gonna completely regenerate our shields at least, which are only 2 to begin with, but yeah. And the only way to actually fix our hull, we can't do that directly using engineers. We have to get 2 engineers to construct an engineer drone. So I think maybe some passive regen going on would be not too bad. I don't know, it seems like a very safe way to play, to get 1 science drone, 1 engineer drone to sort of heal the shield and the hull damage, and then 2 tacticals, because 4 damage a turn, if you get roughly 1 threat a turn, I know you get a bit more, but they have 4 health at maximum. Seems like you could cruise along with that a while. Let's see. We draw invaders. That really sucks, because then we have to somehow get 2 tacticals, 2 tactical dice. Let's roll here, -1 hull, which will be 1 shield. And let's roll our crew. And that's interesting. So I don't want to recall a drone. I can't use the science die for anything else, so I'm definitely re-rolling that. Or do I recall? No, I don't think so. So I think I'll just re-roll both of them using a commander drone. And that's 1 tactical and a threat, giving us another threat card, another interceptor. And I think I'll set this guy on the invaders. This could be bad, but you can actually recall people from away missions. Just you will lose the progress on the mission. But if you gather your crew, and if it's looking too bad, in step 6 you can get that die back if no 1 more goes to the infirmary or something like that. So let's roll a 3, so no proc on the invaders. We just take, oh actually, and our hull would have healed up after placing, and we would have done 2 damage. I need to remember that. We have that passive damage. So right before drawing a new threat card, we have to think about that. Do we have something to use as a reminder on top of this threat deck? Not sure. And so now, and then we rolled a 3, so 1 hull damage. Okay. Sorry, this is a bit all over the place, but I gotta get used to this ship first. This does seem a bit funky. So rolled a commander and a threat, a tactical. Yeah, actually, let's just get rid of the invaders then, so we don't have to deal with them. That was kind of lucky. Do we want to reprogram a drone? Might be time. We still have to look for that engineer drone. Now I want to keep the reroll first of all, because right now we're doing good. But at some point I want to reprogram this guy probably into another tactical. So let's waste the die, we get back 2 shield, we do 2 damage, we draw, strike bomber, roll, A6, does nothing, next turn. Ah, there's an engineer, but only one. And one more tactical guy. Okay, actually this is perfect, I think. So let's use this to construct a tactical drone and use this to reprogram this guy into an engineer. And this was the setup I had in mind, just because it seems good to me to regenerate your shield, heal a bit of hull every turn and do 4 damage. Only real thing that could really get us now are sort of internal threats, which shouldn't be underestimated, but I think friendly fire and the invaders are 2 of the really bad ones. Robot uprising as well. We haven't had that one, but okay. So we heal our shields and we do 4 damage. Draw the next card. Hijackers. Let's roll 2 damage. Roll our dice here. So a scanner and a medic could recall a drone. Don't want to. We heal up. We do 4 damage. We draw the next card. The boarding ship. I rolled a 1, which does nothing. Let's roll a 1 crew die here. It's another medic. Nothing. We heal up, we do 4 damage. Okay, we drew a threat, an assault cruiser. Let's roll here. A5, so we lose 2 shield. What did I do here? I'm confused now. No, that's just rolling the threat. We just now gather and go back to the next turn. Yeah, gotta get into the rhythm here. We rolled an engineer. Can't use that for anything. Yeah, so then we heal up our shields and do 4 damage. Interesting. Okay, so far this is working well. Don't really have to roll the threat die, but I will anyways for fun. We gather a crew. We roll. Reprogramming. So I think as soon as we get internal threats, we're in a bit of a pinch and we might have to see if we can recall drones or something like that, which is annoying with only 1 die, annoying to do. So I'm not saying this is gonna be a setup forever, but let's just fly with it right now and try to burn through as much of the deck as we can. Let's just see how far this can take us. I don't think I want to reprogram even more. Yeah, I don't think so. You could think about completely ignoring your shields and just healing for hull every turn. That might even be better. Because this is 2 either way, right? Plus 2 sort of total health. And there are things that just ignore your shields. But then you're just gonna go down to... not too sure. Not too sure. Okay, now let's just keep our setup like that first. So we do 4 damage. We draw the next threat card. There's the warbird. Okay, that's what I was talking about. And I rolled a 1, which is nothing. Let's roll a crew. Engineer does nothing. We do 4 damage. We draw the next threat. The mercenary. Yeah, no threats are gonna activate, so this will definitely do 2 damage to us. Let's roll a crew. There's a scanner, interesting. So this is the sort of risk we're running, is rolling a lot of scanners and then not being able to keep up with the cards. And there's the bounty ship. Okay, so now we regenerate our shields, do 4 damage. Now we have a choice. So actually the damage from the tactical drones can be split up as we like. Doesn't say so in the rule book, but said so on the back of the board here, on the back of the ship. Yeah, so I think we'll kill the bounty ship, because so far the mercenary, if nothing else activates, this will do 2 shield to us, which we recover anyways. And nothing else will activate, so I don't know where I rolled there. Let's roll a crew. Back to another scanner, a threat we can't use, tactical we can't use. I'll never get those straight in my head, and there's what I was kind of afraid of. Internal threats that need 2 dice assigned to them. Okay, so we recharge our shields. So again, because there's no dice to assign, I forgot to actually use them before drawing the threat. So we rolled this tactical die and then I immediately started drawing the new threat card. But before that, we should have healed our shields and done 4 damage, killing the mercenary. Then we'd have drawn the time warp, then we roll, which does nothing. And now it's our turn again. Yeah, it's a bit confusing without the assigning your dice one by one, and then you see when you've run out of dice. Gotta remember to actually do our damage here. Yeah, so I also thought maybe the time warp isn't that bad, because recovering 1 health, if we're doing 4 damage a turn, we can one-shot most threats, or all of the threats. So to me that means the time warp won't ever do much, only if we split up some of the damage and maybe take a threat down by 1 or 2, but I don't know if that will ever come to pass, so maybe we don't need to worry about the time warp actually. So we rolled here, or rolled a commander here, we could reprogram, but I won't. Let's just keep our setup going here. We heal, we do damage, which is nothing. Let's draw the new threat card. The orbital cannon. Can't be damaged unless it's the only threat, okay. Didn't roll the cannon. Our turn again. Roll our crew. Another commander, which we won't use. Do 4 damage, killing the cannon. Wait, unless it's the only threat. I gotta reread that. I was playing that as the only threat, external threat, but the way it's worded here, actually we would need to get rid of the time warp to be able to kill the orbital cannon. Let's see here. Doesn't say anything about the orbital cannon. Yeah, so the way I read this here, because it doesn't say external threat, I might have been doing that wrong in the last games as well, because I thought it was just protected by the external threats, but apparently not so. Okay, so I guess we won't be doing damage to that. Okay, let's reprogram a drone into a commander again. Okay, so I think I won't reprogram the engineer because I want to keep our healing going. Let's do that. Reprogramming a drone. Now we rolled the dice, or no, we didn't. Let's reroll. That's a 3, so -2 hull. And now we are able to reroll this dice as often as we want, unless we roll a scanner, to try and get a medic to recall one of our dice, to then be able to re-roll hopefully into 2 scientists at some point. That's a very long way of defeating the time warp, but I don't see any other way, except for recalling all of our drones and sort of playing normally, but then we won't be doing any damage, so let's just hope here. That's a scientist, but if I put that on there, I'll never get the second scientist, so let's re-roll. We need a medic. Tactical. Engineer. Engineer. And that's a scanner. Okay, so no luck this turn. Draw another threat. At least we already got rid of that shield platform, which would protect other ones. We heal up. We do 2 damage only. Kill the raiders. Let's roll here. 4, so nothing happens there. But this time we have 2, so we have a good chance of getting at least 1 scientist. Maybe even both. Ah, interesting. Okay. So do we keep re-rolling and hope for 2 scientists without rolling a scanner in the process? Or do we recall one of our drawn dice to have extra dice? I'm not sure. I think we need to recall one more, because if we roll a scanner when re-rolling, we'll just be in the same situation we were earlier. So before I start assigning the dice, I re-roll this one to hope for science maybe. A commander, nope. Medic, tactical, tactical, medic, commander, engineer, medic, tactical, wow. Okay, medic, scanner. All of that just for another scanner. So now we recall a drone. Let's recall maybe our engineer drone here, because I do want to keep doing at least 2 damage every round to stay ahead. And that's going to be our turn. We heal up, we do 2 damage. But I guess we can't damage the orbital cannon because it's not the only threat. And let's draw a card. A fighter. At least no high health enemies, and we rolled a 5, which is nice for us. So the easiest thing would just be rolling 2 science guys now, but I'm not sure if we're that lucky. Nope, definitely aren't, so that's a threat. And another scanner up there. Draw that, we heal up 2 shields, we do 2 damage. Let's destroy the destroyer immediately. Roll. Sorry, I should have drawn another card first. Oh, and a panel explosion. These internal threats. So the orbital cannon, or do we just keep it around? Go back to the old faithful setup and just take the 2 hull occasionally. But we have to get rid of all of the threats at the end, right? Let's try here, otherwise this is kind of boring, I think. Try to manage this. So I rolled a 1, which at least doesn't proc anything, so it's our turn again. Now we can't even construct more drones because of the panel explosion. So 1 science guy and 1 tactical. Yeah, so that means we start re-rolling this, thanks to our commander drone. An engineer, which we can't assign. A medic, which we could use to get rid of the panel explosion. Okay, let's do that. Let's get rid of that. Let's assign this, which I know means we only have 1 die. But that's fine, because we could always recall that guy. If we roll a scanner, we just get both back and have to try next turn. But otherwise, I'm ideally hoping for a science guy with this at the start of the next turn. So we heal 2 shields, we do 2 damage, let's kill the fighter. Draw the next threat card, which are raiders. And we rolled a 4, which activates the raiders, so that's our first point of hull damage, and we won't be healing that, because we don't have an engineer drone at the moment. Yeah. Okay, interesting. So this got interesting after the first few, I don't know, 10 threats or so were just killed automatically for us. So let's just hope to roll science here. Nope. That was a medic. That's an engineer. Hey, there we go. Okay, so that's the time warp gone. And now let's try to rebuild. Now we can't this turn, so we heal our shields, which are full. We do 2 damage, kill the raiders. Draw a card, don't panic. Alright, we have those as well. Didn't draw any of those yet. Rolled a 4, which is nothing. And let's try to get our engineer drone back, and then our second tactical one. Okay, so a scanner, which is annoying. And that's the solar winds. So we really should get an engineer drone to be able to put it down here, I guess, or up there. I'm not sure where it goes. We really need the engineer drone to start healing. Otherwise, the solar winds will hurt a lot. They will hurt either way, but to be able to heal afterwards, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so I guess we'll just keep re-rolling this guy. A commander. Could we program a drone to the engineer drone? But that would mean we can't keep re-rolling and would, yeah. I think the reroll is too valuable for us at the moment. But I do want to heal. Yeah, okay, so let's do it. Let's reprogram this drone. And we have 3 dice next turn. Let's hope we can get another tactical drone up there. So we heal 2 shields, we heal 2 hull, we do 2 damage. But wait, the orbital cannon is not the only threat again. Oh, okay, so now we have to wait for the solar winds to pop to get rid of the orbital cannon. Wow, okay, so this orbital cannon is once again, and the meteoroid is our next threat. Okay, so the orbital cannon will never leave, probably. And a whole sort of workaround the internal threat is kind of been for nothing. So we did get rid of the internal threat, so that's good. Let's roll here. A4, which is nothing. Let's roll our crew. That's a scanner. Now could use this to put up another shield drone, but that does nothing for us. And we don't have rerolls, so I guess I'll just not use them at all. We do 2 damage. Let's do 2 to the meteoroid. Draw the next threat card. A fighter, at least no high health enemy. Roll a 5, which is nothing actually. Getting kind of lucky there. I would like the solar winds to pop. I don't want the meteoroid and the solar winds to pop on the same turn. Hey, there we go. Some reprogramming, but we need to be able to get a drone first. So we need an engineer. Do we reprogram back into just damage? So we are doing 2 damage. We could program that up to 4. And then we could kill the fighter, the meteoroid, but we'll still be waiting on the solar winds and we wouldn't heal next turn. But right now these 2 are doing nothing for us. Now I'll keep this setup like this. I don't want to completely get rid of our hull healing. So we do 2 damage to the meteoroid, taking 5, putting us at 7 hull. And then we draw the threat card. Now again, actually, in which order do we activate these in step 3? Because can we choose the order? Because in that case, we'd be able to heal our shields and our hull now after that. Let's see here. I think it says so on the back. So we were at 7 hull. Let's keep these. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about with it being annoying. Does it actually say anywhere? The rest of the drones perform their listed actions at the end of step 3. Yeah, so I'm assuming, because usually you can choose the order in which you assign your dice, that you can actually choose the order in which you use the drone effects as well. At least it doesn't say anything else, so I guess we'll use the damage first, killing the meteoroids, which we just did, and then heal for 2 shields, heal for 2 hull. So that is actually doing something for us this turn. So good thing we didn't reprogram that. And let's now draw the next threat, which is a Corsair. Let's roll here, a 1. Nothing, okay. Threat die has just been great for us. Let's hope for some more tactical. No tactical. Could actually make a medic drone for now and hope to reprogram that. I think it's better to, so hear me out here, to make a tactical drone we need to roll an engineer and a tactical. If we already have a drone, all we have to do is roll the commander to change it into a tactical drone. So I think that's actually easier or more likely. And we're getting immediate value out of this medic drone here, because now after assigning we can return this. We can do 2 damage. Let's kill the Corsair, I guess, and heal up. Yeah, that seems great. So now we only need to roll a commander with 2 dice at some point, and then we can change that into another tactical drone, and we're back to our setup from the start, which was working quite well until those internal threats with the orbital cannon annoyed me. Yeah. Also kind of lost track of what threats are still left in the deck. Ooh, okay. What external or internal threats. So our shields are offline. I don't think that really bothers us too much. Let's see. Does mean we basically get half healing now for a few turns because we'll only be healing the 2 hull and not the 2 shields. So a 6 is nothing, not even the nebula. That kind of annoys me. Let's roll. Hey, there's the commander I was looking for. Let's use him to reprogram this drone. Like that. And we're back to our setup. So we get 2 shields, we get 2 hull, that does nothing. Actually, we can change the order in which we use them, right? So we can do 4 damage. Let's do 1 to the fighter and 2 to the nebula. Killing it, getting our shields back, and then use the shield drone to heal up to full shields. Yeah. Again, I hope that's right, but it doesn't say anywhere that the order is set in any way. And yeah. In this case, the damage is even before the shield, any way you read it, so I'll read it like that. And that was that. Let's draw the next threat card. Again, getting kind of confused there. Yeah, we're just waiting for the solar winds to pop, don't panic. And there's the solar winds, completely knocked out one of our drones. So we're taking 5 hull and discarding. Just gonna put us down to 7. The orbital cannon does nothing. But so that was protecting the orbital cannon that we can now get at that cannon. At least I hope so. Keep knocking our dice here. So a commander and a shield guy. Reprogramming a drone is always kind of cool because it allows you to make changes on the fly. I really like that. But I think we're happy with our setup here probably. So we heal up by 2 shields, heal up by 2 hull, do 4 damage, and now I hope we're cruising again. Let's draw the next card. Ugh, cloaked threats. Ugh, hate it. So a 6 does nothing. Would have done nothing anyways, because all it could have done is activate the cloaked threats again. Let's just hope for science. We didn't get it. But we also didn't get a commander to get a reroll drone or commander drone, so let's just do nothing, I guess. Heal up because of the engineer drone and draw the next threat. A scout. Let's roll. Actually, those aren't going to do anything either. So basically, we're now rolling to see if we can get a science die, which we could not. Could again change into a commander drone, because those rerolls were sweet, but I think we're going to get the science at some point, and I don't want to mess up our setup there. So wasted heals, do 4 damage, draw the next card. It's a don't panic. We don't need to roll because it's only cloaked threats. Let's roll here. That's an engineer. We can't do anything with our drones. Draw the next card. That's the flagship. That does not activate. I think we've been really lucky with the threat die, but also we've had a lot of turns where we could have healed and didn't, or had damage left over. So I think at the moment this 4 drone setup is really dominating this threat deck. And that's a scanner. I think it was off screen, but yeah. So another card, a don't panic again. Can't heal, do 4 damage, get rid of the flagship. A fighter. So at the moment for most cards, and that's not even a hit, we just have to survive 1 roll on the card, because next turn we can kill it. Only if we roll too many scanners in between will we be getting more cards. Okay, recalling a drone, no. Reprogramming, no. Let's just hope we roll that science guy at some point. Do a 4 damage. Draw the next card, assault cruiser. 6 does nothing. Roll here. 2 engineers. Do nothing. Do a 4 damage. Draw the next card. Distracted. Ugh. Now this, but this will solve itself at some point, so I'm not too fast. Let's roll a crew. Commander. Can't believe we haven't rolled a science guy yet. Yeah, so I'm not gonna start recalling drones to somehow get those 2 medics. I'm just gonna hope, because we can't lose the game by losing all of our dice and getting them locked up. It's interesting because that die is kind of safe up there now, and we'll get it back at some point. And yeah, I think we'll just leave it up there and don't care about the distracted for now. So that was that. We can heal, we can do damage, which does nothing. We can roll a 1, which does nothing. Roll a die. Let's hope for science. Come on. A scanner. Okay, so now we have no dice left, and the game will just play itself. We do our damage, which does nothing. Comms are offline. We can't assign any more. Okay, this is getting a bit ridiculous. These internal threats, we can't assign any commanders, so no more drone reprogramming. And we've got our die offline up there with the distraction, like that. And, oh, sorry. Mix it around like that, maybe. And now the game is playing itself. So that's that. We got the comms. We do nothing. We do roll the die, actually. A 4, so our distracted unit just came back. All of that shuffling for nothing. Don't think we've rolled the cloaked threats once yet. Yeah, and that's that. So we roll a crew. Let's hope for science or an engineer to just start chipping away at those. Nope, no such luck. No damage, no healing. Draw the next card. We can boost morale. Sure, why not? Okay, this is ridiculous. Yeah, that's that. Oh, no, we do have to roll the die, sorry. Hey, the 6, we get our scanner back. I think this is the first time the morale boost did something. Ah, great job. Cool, cool. Okay, so now we get to roll 2 dice. Come on, 1 engineer, 1 science. Calling it. Almost. Okay, so we can get our comms online again. And now we can reprogram drones again if we want to, but I don't think we do. We heal, we do damage, which we don't. Let's draw on the next card, don't panic. Roll the threat die. Oh, actually, does nothing, right? Let's hope for some science here. Yes, finally. Okay, get rid of the cloaked threats. Not use the medic for anything. And we're back to an empty board and the game is playing itself. So nothing of our drones does anything. Strike bomber, let's see here. Ooh, that could send units to the infirmary. We rolled a 6, which luckily doesn't activate it. But again, if both of our units are in the infirmary, then we're kind of sweating, because then we really have no agency at all, because that means everything's just gonna happen without us being able to do anything. Our drones are just gonna fight for us, but we don't lose the game, because it says so on the back of the ship. So we roll our crew. We're really only rolling to see if we roll scanners now. Do our 4 damage, so the strike bomber is gone. I can't remember if we already had a strike bomber. If not, there's one more definitely in the deck. Hey, and there's some damage. I don't know why I am happy about that, but it's just a bit more interesting. Yeah, so no scanner there. Healer shield, do 4 damage. If so, we have to tank the strike bomber. One more, and just hope it doesn't hit. Okay, Cosmic Existentialism. Also, I think the Robot Uprising is still in the deck. We haven't had that yet. Roll the threat die. I don't know why I keep rolling. Okay. Hope for science again. No such luck. Do nothing with our drones. That's the robot uprising, was just talking about it. Okay, that could now suck. Yep, 1 unit to the infirmary. Huh. Yeah, so if we now roll a scanner, we're completely locked up. If we roll an engineer, that would be great. If we roll science, that would be great. I think anything else would kind of be mid, though that would give the robot uprising another shot. Best would probably be an engineer and then a medic next turn, or at least a medic this turn to get this guy healed. Hey, an engineer. Okay, so that's definitely lucky, but I'll take it because we've been so unlucky with this card in the past. At least I believe so. So get rid of that, and that's that. Do nothing with our drones. Draw the next card. That's a rescue mission, so we draw again. Space Pirates. We roll 3, 2 damage. We roll our 1 crew, and that's a scanner. So now we're completely locked up and can't do anything about it. Now we just have to hope the rest of the cards play themselves and we win. Yeah, interesting. Such a weird ship. Such a weird idea for a chip. I'm not too sure if I like it or I don't. It's going well right now, but so we did that. We heal up because of our shield drone. We do 4 damage. We draw the next card. That's another rescue mission, which we won't be able to do. Space Pirates, roll them. 6, so 2 damage. And we can't roll, so next turn we just heal that back, do 4 damage. The threat deck is not big anymore. I think it's only 2 cards. Don't panic. Nothing happens. We can't roll. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Next threat card. Strike Bomber. There it is. Fitting end. So it won't be able to send anything to the infirmary. And it wouldn't have either way. And so now we roll nothing, do nothing. The threat deck is depleted, so I guess we have to put in the Ouroboros. So the missile array, the Hydra cannons, more Hydra cannons. Again, I'll stack them. The missile array ignores shields. We know, actually, makes more sense to stack them like that, right? Because then we can read that. And we've got the barrier, and we've got the core, and we've got the attack matrix, which has us roll the dice twice, which I'll just put here. Yeah, so now what was I doing? I think that should have been put into game as soon as the threat deck is depleted. So now we are attacking for 4. Let's get rid of the Strike Bomber, definitely. And now it's just our automated ship against Ouroboros, which is interesting. So we have 2 damage left over, because again we can split the damage up and the Strike Bomber only had 2. So let's definitely kill the barrier, which can be recharged. So I'll just maybe put it here or something like that. On a 5 it comes back. Let's hope for not a 5. A 2. So what's the 2 do? -2 hull. Nothing else. While active, we roll our threat die twice. A 6. Send a unit to the infirmary. We can't. When destroyed, Ouroboros is defeated. Okay, that's that. So now our turn. We heal back our 2 shields. We do 4 damage. Yeah, straight to the core, right? Now we can attack the core. Okay. So the only way Ouroboros would have survived there is if it had rolled a 5 to get back that barrier. Yeah, that's that. That was the boss. So when destroyed, Ouroboros is defeated. So these all blow up because we blew up the core. And only threat we didn't defeat is Cosmic Existentialism. And I guess that's a win. I'm not sure if you then have to get rid of all the internal threats as well. Because if so, it's a loss because we can't. There's no way. Because we don't have any dice to roll. But I think that's probably a win, because we defeated the boss, we got through the whole threat deck, and the existentialism doesn't really concern us much, because we're not using people. We are robots. Okay. So, very weird vibes from this ship. It's kind of cool to have those passive effects. It seems super strong. I think even without the don't panics, it would have been probably fine. I'm not too sure if I played that whole orbital cannon thing right. Otherwise, you could probably ignore most of the internal threats, but except for things like the robot uprising and so on. This setup of healing 2 shields to hull and doing 4 damage every single round, yeah, just seems super strong, because as I said, the most you're getting per round is 4 health of threats, and probably less, because there's not that many cards with 4 health. So, I don't know. Ship seems very strong, but also kind of boring, right? Because that setup was like the first thing I tried. In the beginning, you remember I said like, seems great to have one of each of those and 2 damage dice, and that's what we did, and that's what worked. The one sort of switcheroo with the time warp and the orbital cannon and so on, I think was kind of fun to do because it was a challenge, but after that, I don't know. Yeah, cool ship, very weird to... This turned the game into an idle game almost. I think it would be more interesting if the sort of build, in inverted commas, you could do with these 4 drones had a bit more variety. Because at the end of the day, I think you do want some sort of healing. I guess we could have done 2 hull healing drones instead of 2 shield drones. Returning scanners is kinda nice, but I don't know. I didn't try it too much. But I guess at the end of the day, you really just want a lot of damage. Could have probably done it with 3 drones, only the hull healing drone, and then had 1 more die to play with. But I don't know. I don't think there's too much variety in the sort of build you can do up there. And because of that, I don't know how different subsequent playthroughs are gonna be, because at least after this, I'm always gonna aim at getting that sort of setup, and then you just go through the deck and either you die due to some weird combo or you don't. And now the boss didn't seem that challenging. I mean, I want to do a little experiment here. I'm sorry. You can click off the video if you're not too interested, but I want to fight the boss again, because that did seem sort of very weird after last time where it was that so strong, but I guess that was also because a lot of our dice were locked up and so on. So I suppose that spawns in and we roll for it. I'm not too sure, because it says it spawns in once the deck is depleted, so last time I spawned it in when... Yeah, so I guess we still had the strike bomber there, right? And then I should have rolled. So let's play from there once more. So that was the last threat we drew, and then Ouroboros should have already been put in. And yeah, let's draw that. So we roll once. This is -2 hull. We roll again because of the attack matrix, which is a 4, which is -3 hull, ignoring shields. And -1 hull, sending a unit to the infirmary, so that's a bit more damage. Then it's our turn, we roll, we can't do anything. We heal by 2 and by 2. We do 4 damage, probably aimed at the attack matrix. No, sorry, the weird protection thing, the barrier. And 2 at the core, I guess. And this way, we really only need to survive this round. Even if the barrier comes back, we'll be doing 4 damage next time, so we can do 2 to the barrier and 2 to the core. Let's just play it out here. So that would be a 2, so -2 and 1 hull, sending a unit to the infirmary, which we can't do. And we roll again because the attack matrix is still there. It's another -4 hull. I mean, it does a lot of damage, certainly. And so this is a bit closer, but still, I don't know, that's that. Then it's our turn, we roll, we can't do anything, we heal by 2 and by 2 we do 4 damage. We kill the core. And even if one of those rolls had brought back the barrier, we do 2 damage to the barrier and 2 to the core. Huh. Yeah, so seems the setup, except if I'm missing something, now you could always roll just horrendous rolls and do, I don't know, roll a 4, roll another 4, next time roll a 4, roll another 4, just 12 damage straight to hull, and you only get to roll 2, heal up by 2 in between. But except for that, it doesn't seem like... Seems like Ouroboros is kind of hard countered by this 4 damage and healing a bit. Huh. I'm not sure if I'm missing something here, but yeah. Okay, so I thought we just got lucky, but actually I think this setup just kinda is able to kill him in 2 turns, no matter what. Except if you get super unlucky with the threat die. Okay, yeah, so that's our first win over the boss. Sorry if that little test at the end there annoyed you, but I wanted to talk through that on camera because I was interested in figuring that out, at least roughly. That's the AG8. Probably won't be returning to the ship in the near future. Maybe if we do harder difficulties at some point with less Don't Panic, but as I said, I don't think they really influenced as much here. Yeah. So probably we'll focus on the other ships where you get to actually play the game. Still, this was a fun experience, but maybe not something I'll have to repeat that often, because at the moment it seems like it's gonna be the same every time. Okay, you can let me know what you think about this. If you have the game, have you played this drone ship before? Have you had fun with it? Have you been frustrated with it? Or was it sort of similar where you do the setup and then it's kind of boring for the rest of the game? I'd love to hear about that. Or if I did anything wrong, as usual, tell me. I always try to catch mistakes, but obviously anyone that plays solo knows that without other players at the table, it's easy to make a mistake and completely miss it yourself. Again, we'll keep playing Deep Space D6, trying to get wins with the other ships. But until then, see you, bye bye.